At the beginning of the story, we see a woman named Elizabeth, who was once the most famous star in the entire world. People used to wait for hours just to catch a glimpse of her. Getting a photo taken with her star was nothing less than a dream for people, but with time, everything started to change. Slowly, people forgot about her. Her star started to crack. People would step on it as they walked by. The saddest part is that so many years passed, but no one even bothered to fix that broken star. Today, that same Elizabeth has turned 50 years old. Age has started to become clearly visible on her face. Still, she was somehow managing to host her TV show, but she had no idea that her entire life was about to change today. After the shooting ends, she heads toward the washroom, but the ladies' washroom was closed, so she is forced to go inside the men's washroom. Just then, the show's director arrives there as well. The director was talking to someone on the phone. He says, "Elizabeth is no longer the way she used to be. People don't like watching her anymore. The show's ratings are constantly falling. Now, we will have to bring in a young and beautiful girl in her place." Hearing these things, the ground slips from under Elizabeth's feet. The beauty that had earned her fame across the world had now become her biggest enemy. She slowly goes in front of the mirror and starts looking at herself intently. Every wrinkle on her face was making her realize that people don't love her like before. Still, she was not one to give up. She goes straight to the director. She hoped that perhaps seeing her years of hard work, he would change his decision. But the director shattered all her hopes in a single moment. He says this show runs only on beauty, and now you don't possess that beauty anymore. Right from this moment, Elizabeth breaks down completely from within. Without saying a word, she gets into her car and leaves for home. But the whole way, the director's words were echoing in her mind. And the very next moment, her car meets with a horrific accident. But the strange thing was that the doctor tells her that even after such a terrible accident, Elizabeth has not sustained any major injuries. It was just her good luck. Anyway, Elizabeth gets discharged from the hospital. Here, a nurse checks her spine thoroughly. After this, she returns her clothes to her. When Elizabeth leaves the hospital, she discovers that the nurse had slipped a note into her coat pocket. The message read, "This has changed my whole life." Along with it was a pen drive labeled "The Substance." After reaching home, she opens the drive, which contained information about a liquid called the Substance. This substance was incredibly potent and could give any old person a new, youthful form again. At first, Elizabeth thinks it is all nonsense and lies, so she picks up the drive and throws it straight into the trash. But at night, all the awards and beautiful photos of her youth in her house start to bother her immensely. Frustrated and angry, she retrieves the drive from the trash and calls the number provided on it. She says, "I want to order that substance." The man talking on the other end of the phone doesn't engage in any unnecessary talk. He simply asks for her address. After that, he gives her a location and hangs up the phone. The next morning, while she is reading the newspaper, she notices an advertisement. This ad was placed by her own company, announcing interviews for a new model to replace Elizabeth. Seeing all this, Elizabeth completely breaks down and becomes very depressed. Along with that newspaper, she also receives a black envelope. As soon as Elizabeth opens the envelope, she finds a number written inside. Elizabeth then arrives at the address the man gave over the phone, which was actually a secret locker. The card Elizabeth found in that envelope. Using it, she opens the door to that place and goes inside. Once inside, she opens her locker, which had a box kept inside. Elizabeth takes that box and returns to her home. Upon reaching home, she quickly opens the box, which was filled with many items, such as a serum and an injection that was meant to be used only once in a lifetime. Along with it was an activator stabilizer, which she had to use daily to keep her new young body in check. There was also a special pipe provided to switch bodies every week, and finally, a special type of food was given for both the new and old bodies. After this, Elizabeth goes to the bathroom, where she stares at her own body in the mirror for a long time. She just couldn't decide whether she should go through with this dangerous task or not. After thinking for a long time, she finally injects that green liquid into herself. For a little while after the injection, she doesn't feel anything at all, but immediately after, a terrible pain begins that is impossible to endure. She starts writhing in agony from the pain. That is when we see her pupils beginning to double. After this, her back tears open from the waist up, and a brand new young girl emerges from inside that split body. This was Elizabeth's new form, meaning her brand new body. When Elizabeth sees her new body, she can't believe her eyes that this magical liquid actually worked. She had become more beautiful and youthful than she had ever imagined in her dreams. After admiring her new beauty in the mirror for a long time, Elizabeth starts sewing up the torn back of her old body with a needle and thread. Then she feeds the special food provided by the company into her old body to keep it alive. At night, she fully enjoys her new youth and beauty. But when she wakes up in the morning, she sees that her nose is bleeding. Suddenly, she remembers that she was given an activator stabilizer to maintain her body and was told that to keep this new body safe, she must extract serum from her old body's spine and inject it into her new one every day. So she quickly goes to her old body and starts extracting the serum from it. Afterward, she injects that single daily dose of serum into her body, which makes her completely normal again. Now, with full confidence and wearing stylish clothes, she steps out and heads straight to the audition for the same show from which she was kicked out. Upon arriving, everyone is absolutely stunned by Elizabeth's incredible beauty. The director selects her the moment he sees her. Elizabeth gives her name as Sue here. After passing the interview, she suddenly remembers that she has to change her body every week. So she uses her wits and makes an excuse to the director that her mother is very ill. That is why she has to visit her village twice a month, meaning she will not be able to come to work for 2 weeks a month. The director accepts her condition immediately without thinking much. So finally, she gets this job back. From then on, she starts enjoying the show's shooting to the fullest. She gets one stylish photo shoot after another, and in no time, her large posters and advertisements are all over the city. In this way, 6 days pass by while Elizabeth enjoys living in this new body, and today was the 7th day. Meaning it was the day to switch bodies, which means, starting today, she will have to live in her old, aged body for a whole week. After switching bodies, Elizabeth attaches the food supply to her new body via a tube. After this, she goes to her office, where the director gives her a gift in return for her hard work, but also insults her and kicks her out of the show. Because of all this, Elizabeth feels terrible after coming home. Anyway, the next day, Elizabeth receives an envelope along with the newspaper. It came from the same company from where she had ordered that substance. Inside that envelope was a message stating that her new food had arrived. Elizabeth then goes to the specified location and retrieves her food. Now the full 7 days are over, and Elizabeth turns back into Sue, meaning she activates her new body again. Now Sue could not just leave that old body out in the open like that. She could be caught red-handed at any moment. So she comes up with a plan to break a wall inside her own house and hide Elizabeth's old body there. So, according to her plan, Sue gets to work. But there was a lot of noise being made while breaking this wall, and shortly after, a neighbor shows up at her door to complain. But seeing Sue's incredible beauty, the guy forgets about complaining and instead melts, saying, "If you need any help, just call me." I live just nearby in the neighborhood, but Sue was busy with her secret work. So, without saying a word, she slams the door in his face. After putting in a lot of hard work, she finally builds a secret room. Inside, which Elizabeth's old body is kept safely hidden, along with all her old photos. A few days later, Elizabeth was enjoying her new young body so much that, caught up in the partying, she completely forgot that today was the day to switch bodies. Also, the food supply for that old body was about to run out. That day, she invites a guy over to her house to have some fun. But at night, while she was busy with her activities, her nose suddenly starts bleeding. Along with this, severe pain begins throughout her entire body. She immediately realizes that, oh man, today was the shifting day, but instead of switching bodies, she gets greedy. She thinks of enjoying this new body for a few more days and extracts serum from the old body's spine to inject herself. By doing this, she feels perfectly fine at that moment. But how horrific the consequences will be, we will find out later. So, she stays in this new body for 7 more days, meaning a total of 14 days. But when she switches her body after that, she sees that one of her fingers has completely decayed, and this was solely the result of her negligence. Elizabeth, now extremely anxious, calls the company directly and asks them, "I have made a mistake. I missed a cycle. I didn't shift my body on time, because of which one of my fingers has completely ruined. Is there any fix or solution to heal this?" Then the company representatives reply clearly, "There is no cure for this. What's done is done. It cannot be fixed under any circumstances now." And hearing this, she becomes absolutely terrified. The company explains to her, "You are not two separate people. You are one and the same. This second body of yours has emerged from your own body. That is why you must be very careful." Anyway, Elizabeth reaches a restaurant with her new food supplies. There, she sees an old man who is talking to her about very strange things. Elizabeth suddenly remembers that this old man has the exact same medical mark on his hand that she saw on the nurse's hand. It was clear that this was the nurse's old body. The old man asks her, "Has your new body started eating you yet?" Hearing this terrifying thing, Elizabeth is petrified and she leaves there immediately in fear. Back home, she decides that she will now learn to be happy in her old body. That is why she calls up a friend and asks to meet. After this, she gets ready wearing beautiful clothes and does her makeup exactly like Sue's. But just as she is about to leave the house, her eyes fall on a large poster of Sue's youthful body. Seeing it, her entire confidence drops to 0. In anger, she ruins all her makeup and hair, and in a state of depression, she stuffs herself with a lot of food like a maniac. The very next day, we see that she gives in to greed and switches back to the new body, and it was time for her show. We see that while Sue is dancing during the shoot, she feels some strange change in her body. Panicked, she leaves the shoot in the middle and runs straight to the washroom. There, she pulls out some extra thing from near her navel. Then she realizes, oh, this is an entire roasted chicken, the same chicken she had gorged on the night before. Seeing this horrific thing, she is terrified and suddenly wakes up. Meaning, she had been having this nightmare all this time, so after waking up, she actually switches her body and arrives at the show ready. But upon reaching the set, she gets very nervous seeing that everyone there is packing up the shooting equipment. A man tells her, there will be no shooting here from today onwards. Hearing this, her heart starts racing and she runs straight to the director, where the director turns her tension into a huge joy. He says, oh silly, this isn't just a normal show anymore. It has now become a very famous show in the world. And he also offers Sue the chance to host the New Year's special. Hearing this, her joy knew no bounds, and without thinking twice, she immediately says yes to the director. However, she completely forgot that New Year's Day falls on the exact same day she is supposed to shift her body back. In the meantime, a very wicked greed overcomes her again. She did not want to leave her new body and return to that old and withered body at any cost. That is why she deliberately starts staying in that new body for many days. And to keep this new body fresh and active, she secretly extracts serum from her old body every day and injects it into her new one. This was having a direct and very negative impact on her old body. After enjoying herself for many days, when Sue finally shifts her body, she is stunned to see that Elizabeth has become a frail old woman because too much serum had been drained from her body. Elizabeth calls the company again and pleads, is there no solution to all these things? Can I not get my previous body back in any way? The company man says bluntly, ma'am, you were already warned. What has been done cannot be changed under any circumstances. Yes, it is certainly in your hands that if you want to stop all this right here, you can stop it now. But after this, you will have to spend the rest of your life with this old variant, meaning this old body. She falls into a deep depression, and just then she gets an unexpected call from the office So she rushes to switch bodies and, blinded by greed this time, she drains 3 full months of serum from her old body into her new one. In reality, the mind of both bodies, the new and the old, is exactly the same. Their understanding and knowledge are completely identical, but due to the huge age gap, the way the new body, Sue's body, thinks and views the world is completely different. That is why when Elizabeth returns to her new body and sees such a beautiful, toned physique, she becomes blinded by greed once again. She is no longer able to think sensibly like Elizabeth. She doesn't even try to distinguish between right and wrong, which leads her to commit a huge blunder. Anyway, for 3 whole months, Elizabeth keeps having the time of her life in her new body. She was so happy during these 3 months that she completely forgot that her old body was rotting away behind the scenes. And just like that, while having all this fun, New Year's Eve finally arrives. She has even brought a boy home tonight to party with. But that is when she realizes that all the serum in her body has run out. So she goes to extract more serum from her old body. Not even a single drop of serum comes out of it today. She immediately calls the company and asks in a panic why the serum isn't coming out of the old body at all today. What should I do now? The company tells her that if the serum is not coming out of that body, it simply means that you have used up and finished all the serum. Now you will have to wait patiently for new serum to form inside the old body, and until then, you will have to switch and live in your old body. Hearing this, Sue is completely stunned. Without thinking much, she immediately switches to her old body, and the boy sitting outside hears the strange noises of the body switching process. So, he heads straight toward the washroom to check what is going on. But the old Elizabeth shows some agility and quickly locks the washroom door from the inside. We see that Elizabeth has now aged excessively. So old that even all the hair on her head has fallen out. The skin all over her body has started to sag. She was also finding it very difficult to even walk around properly now. Hearing the voice of a terrifying old woman from inside, the boy breaks into a cold sweat out of fear and runs away with his tail between his legs. Now, feeling distressed, Elizabeth calls the company. She says that she wants to end this entire game here forever. The company agrees to her request. After this, she is asked by the company to take her termination substance, that is, the liquid to end this game. Elizabeth's body was now looking very ugly and frightening. Therefore, she covers her entire body as well as she can with clothes. After this, she reaches that secret location to pick up her termination substance. After bringing the termination substance home, she was just about to inject it into Sue's body when she suddenly remembers that terrifying thing the company people told her. If you even accidentally put this termination substance into that body once, you will have to stay in whatever rotting body you are currently in for the rest of your life. Thinking just this, she stops and does not give Sue that termination injection. When she looks at her dilapidated body in the mirror, she feels intense anger towards Sue because all this destruction happened only because of that new body. That is Sue's greed. That is why, crazed with anger, she finally injects the termination substance into Sue's body. But when she had already injected half of the liquid into her, suddenly, a light bulb goes off in her head that, she still has to host many big shows and is also going to receive awards from all over the world in the coming days. Elizabeth wanted to receive all those awards. She wanted to hear heaps of praise for herself from people. Thinking just of this greed, Elizabeth does not give the remaining half of the termination substance to Sue. Now she starts to suspect that after taking half the dose, Sue might have died. She tries very hard to shake Sue and wake her up. But even after struggling for a long time, when Sue does not regain consciousness, she gives up and thinks of a way to switch her body. The bodies were no longer switching because there was absolutely no serum left inside Sue's body. Here, Elizabeth uses her brain a bit, pulls the activator from her own spine and inserts it directly into Sue's body. And shortly after, like magic, Sue becomes active. Meaning both of Elizabeth's bodies are now alive and active at the same time. As soon as she becomes active, when Sue sees that half-empty termination injection right in front of her, and because of this, She becomes absolutely furious with Elizabeth. Blinded by rage, she starts beating Elizabeth like an animal. She chases Elizabeth all over the house, beating her brutally while repeatedly smashing Elizabeth's head onto the glass table. As a result, Elizabeth's head is completely shattered, and she dies right there in agony. After killing Elizabeth, Sue immediately realizes that she has shot herself in the foot and made a huge mistake, because now she will never be able to extract the substance from that old body. Anyway, she cleans up all the blood spilled there, gets ready, and leaves for her show. Upon reaching the set, everyone welcomes her in a very VIP manner. She was really enjoying seeing all of this. But then suddenly her body starts behaving very strangely, and she panics and runs to the restroom. As soon as she opens her mouth in front of the mirror, she sees that one of her teeth has broken and fallen out. When she touches another tooth to check, brother, that one also breaks and falls straight down. Now she understood clearly that her new body was becoming hollow and weak from the inside, precisely because she killed Elizabeth. Every limb and the skin of her body were drying up and becoming like scrap paper. Now, if she wants to stay alive, she must somehow manage to apply that activation serum. That is why she starts running toward her house like a madwoman. While running, she suddenly remembers that the very first serum packet given to her by the company still has a little bit of serum left in it. But it was clearly written on the serum bottle that it could only be used once in a lifetime. But to save her life, she ignores everything and injects the remaining serum into her body. And as soon as she does this, Sue starts experiencing excruciating pain that had no limits. Just like before, her back splits open again, and from within it emerges a hideous and strange body made of a mixture of both Sue and Elizabeth. Looking at which, it seemed as if it were a truly terrifying monster, a completely distorted and rotten body. Sue's mental state had deteriorated so much that she couldn't even understand what kind of monstrosity she had become. She couldn't even decide whether she would be able to face anyone with this appearance or not. But then what does she do? She pastes a beautiful photo of herself over her monster-like hybrid face and goes to the show in that very condition. But as soon as she reaches the stage and stands before the mic, the photo suddenly slips off her face and falls, and everyone sitting there sees her terrifying, rotten face. The breath of everyone sitting in the auditorium seems to get stuck in their throats. Just then, something even more disgusting starts emerging from within her body. Seeing this scene, everyone starts screaming out loud in terror. People start running around like crazy to save their lives. Then, a man from the crowd gathers the courage and strikes Elizabeth's face hard with a baseball bat, because of which, her face tears apart badly and falls onto the floor. Everyone starts running around in fear of death, and in no time, Elizabeth's entire body splits into two pieces. And then, Elizabeth's remaining body weirdly crawls out like a creeping insect and crawls right to the spot where her star was once placed. Her entire body was now completely gone, and now just her strange face sits right on top of that star. And with this terrifying scene, this movie ends right here.